Someone was asking about the radiator hoses. They're 20 AN hoses, and of course the fittings are 20 AN. So you know, you got to figure out what fittings you need, because when you start screwing up these fittings, it gets costly in a big hurry. Unless you want to send them back and forth, you know. Some of them you're going to have to get from Summit because they're about the only ones that have it. Maybe These connectors are Autoplumb. And that's autoplumb.com. And what it is you've got 20 and 20 thread. And then it's got a little rubber bushing in there, like a piece of heater hose, but it's all fancy made for it. And then it's got a collar. And then what keeps that heater hose from popping out the backside of that collar is it's got a spring in there, a flat spring, a flat plate, split plate that you push in before you put it on. Put the rubber. There's lots of guys telling you how to put these Autoplumb things on. They're all right, so no sense going over that again. You can look them up on YouTube. And then, you know, if you need to know how to make a AN hose up, there's lots of guys who are a lot better than me making up AN hoses. You could watch their videos, and they'll go through how to make up an AN hose. And then come over here, in the bottom radiator hose is the same thing. The only difference between the top and the bottom is to get out of the water pump on a small block Chevy. I used a 45. Pointing down with the Autoplumb connector onto the spigot out of the water pump, then into an AN45 going to a hose, and there's a little kink in that hose. I'm hoping they'll come out, and also I've inserted a spring in the hose. Get them from Earl's or Russell's. They all got the spring for a 28, and then 90 into the radiator with the same Autoplumb connector. Now, plumbing for the heater hoses is use right there. You can see it pretty well. This connector right here. That is a Gates Sure Grip, kind of like a heat shrink clamp, and you install that with a heat gun. So it also gives you a little bit of rubber between the connector and the radiator, so you don't bust off the bung. Nothing worse than a busted bung. And then this one here is the transmission cooler, and it's running out to the front on a transmission cooler. And then this one here goes to the overflow tank, the expansion tank. And this radiator I got was threaded with I think it's a 4mm straight pipe thread. So I took out the push-on hose and put a threaded coupler in there. And then it goes over to the expansion tank. And then the expansion tank has all AN hoses too going to it. So you got your overflow coming out of your expansion tank, and then your water coming into your expansion tank. Harbor Freight shit. But anyways, and then to get into the heater core, here's the heater core. You guys can see it. There we go. Goes from the heater core to with the piece of hose in there, and then again the power grip hose clamps going to hose to I think one's a 12 AN and one's a 10 AN, if I remember right. Connector, I think this is 5/8 and 1 inch. Now, this was a TBI truck, a throttle body injection truck. So if you've worked with them before, you know that the heater port comes out of the back of the intake right there with the steel pipe going to a regular heater hose. Well, when you change the intake manifold, you may not have that option anymore. So then you got to run up to the front right here and tap the front. Now, there may be you may be thinking, well, I could put I need that for my water temperature sensor. Well, on these trucks anyways, the water temperature sensor is in the back of the head. So there's the water temperature sensor right there. So it's truly in the back of the head. Now, so that port's pretty much open for your heater hose. So when the thermostat's closed, the engine's warming up, you got all this hot water gathering here. It'll run through your heater core and then back out of your heater core and back into your radiator right here. And then here's a little bit more on the transmission cooler. So I ran the steel lines up here, and I put a flared adapter, got it from Earl's or Russell's or one of them. Summit will have it. And then ran that to the transmission cooler. And it's mounted out front. And then the one coming back in from the transmission cooler still goes through the radiator right here. And the radiator came, you know, with threads, so I had to get an adapter from those threads to third end section to, I think that's a 6AN hose. And, you know, Summit's got them, Earl's got them, Russell's got them. I don't know, you find them on Amazon maybe, I don't know. But anyways, so that's how I did this. And then there's the, of course, the one coming out of the transmission will go right into the radiator, so you don't have to worry about that one too much. Just got to tap it up top so you get it circulated through the cooler. Oh, there's that cap I was looking for. And then here's another little tip. I don't know if everybody knows, but if you got your breather for your gas tank and you're not running the charcoal canister anymore, you could cut the bottom off of a new fuel filter. This one happens to be a 5/16 fuel filter. You can see where I've cut the bottom off, cut the exit side off, or the whatever side. Really, I don't know if it matters that much, but that will help disperse any odor coming out of the tank. Aim it down towards the underneath the vehicle. It just won't scatter everywhere. It'll kind of float down there, and hopefully it floats out from under the vehicle. And you don't got to worry about too much. And if it gets dirty, you can always change it. They're cheap, a couple bucks. So that's what I have to say on this. Thanks for watching.